So when I was driving in this morning on the A66, I had a pretty good idea what to expect today in terms of the conditions. It's quite a painterly feel to it, lots of layering. Visibility is good, but that certain obscurity about it. It's not totally clear, which is excellent. And another thing, autumn is definitely upon us. So where am I today? Well, I travelled through Borrowdale and I parked up at Seathwaite, which is quite a popular spot for the fell walkers to head up to Scaffold Pike, which is that direction. That big fell you see in front of you is Seathwaite. Behind that heads on to Great End and the Scaffold Range. But I veered left, this path here takes up to Stockley Bridge. I've veered left and I'm heading up there, Hind Gill, and eventually that will take me to Glaramara. It's a 10k hike, or that's the plan. We'll see how that goes. It's a minimum of 10k. Never done this route. It was quite testing. We've got some good photo opportunities later on, so stick with us. From Glaramara, we're going to head down to Allen Crags, and from there you can see the Scaffold Range. So yeah, great atmosphere today. So this is the more direct approach to Glaramara, and often the case if you take more direct approaches, the ascent is a lot steeper, and that is definitely the case here. There is a path, I've found a path eventually. But yeah, I'm not sure on the route whether, I'm not sure if I got that chute there. It doesn't look right inviting, but yeah, we'll have to see. The route is at the side of Hind Gill, which I'm guessing that is Hind Gill, totally dried out. The rocks are. So yeah, let's join this path. Now, as usual, what I'll do is I'll share my images throughout the video, and then I have a end of video gallery, as I usually do. Hopefully we'll bag something. As I say, I'm looking forward to the views later on. But Glaramara in itself, it's such an interesting fell. That's just reminded me, I think I'm back on the path. Yeah, it's such an interesting fell. Lots of little crags and places to hide, and which is great if you want a bit of privacy to make a brew, etc. Okay, so no is the answer to the question about going in between that chute, that scree chute, which looks a bit ominous. There's a small gate just in front of me. That'll take me to the path just to the right of those lovely coloured trees. Oh. Once we get past the Hind Crag, it's, well, looking at the map, fairly easy-ish ascent up to the top. I'm just looking around, just looking for images. We're not going to get any direct light, I know that for a fact. It says it could be, anything could happen here. But very, as I said before, painterly effect. Who knows? Yeah, I've seen better days, but still hanging in. Still hanging in there. Other than the faint, distant cry of the sheep and the faint and distant bark of a farm dog, it really is peaceful. Can't feel any breeze. I'm in a bit of a shelter at the moment, but it's not forecast. Heavy winds or rain today. That cloud looks well ominous. But yeah, very nice and peaceful. And I'll tell you something. The thing is about this route, I've seen one person head up, so a lot of peace and quiet this way, in comparison to that route which takes up to Stockley Bridge. So yeah, turn around, see that? Castle Crag, that's the smallest Wainwright, and beyond that Derwent Water. Right, that is the steepest part, other than the final push to the top of Glaramara, of today's walk. Seems good to get it over. Not too bad actually, not too bad. Fairly dryish on the foot, on lots of foot hills. Basically stones and rocks which will help your footing. So it's going to slightly level off, but you can see what's coming our way, all the crags there. That's pretty much what Glaramara is. Quick spin round. That cloud still looks ominous over, what's that, grey knot. Lump sticking up there. Great gable of Lakeland's finest. So no change in the conditions, but there won't be, wouldn't there? It's only been like half an hour between last filmed. Right. Do you know, it's predicted no rain, but I'm not overly convinced. We shall see. Stick with us as we head towards the top of Glaramara, and then I'll start to get the camera out. I've taken one shot. Nothing special, just a sheep overlooking the fells. Oh, the temperature really has dropped. Especially feel it when I'm stationary. Yeah, but a lot colder. So I'm going to leave the jacket on. It's a southeasterly breeze apparently. And every now and then I do get a gust. Can't have it all my kind of. Momentarily, I saw some sun. I saw the sun. I did. It's gone now though. That cloud is still looming. Right, let's get to the top of Glaramara. There we go. Ooh, spin you around. That's what I'm heading. That cloud. Oof, keep moving, gotta keep moving. So it's now that time of year where you wear gloves. Unfortunately, I haven't brought the right photography stroke hiking gloves. And what I mean by that is I've got the fingerless ones, so I've brought these sealskin ones. The problem with it, I mean they're nice and warm. The problem with it, every time I want to take a photograph, I'm going to take them off. So look at this view behind me. There's a small pool of water which has caught my eye. Has a bit of foreground interest. That's creating a bit of contrast as well with the light bouncing off the surface. In the background you've got the faint image of Derwent Water. You've got a couple of small crags either side of the frame as well, just balancing it very painterly. I've said that many times, haven't I, today? But that's what we've got. No direct light. Nice layerings, and that'll show in the editing as well when it went in painterly. Not a lot of contrast. I just wonder if I get closer to this pool of water, because there's a little inlet, whatever it's called. Got a little line. Yeah, I think that works better actually. It fills the frame more. See, you've got the little line running out, heading towards the background of Derwent Water. So final push now, bit of scrambling to the top of Glaramara. But spin you around. I said before how interesting this fell was. You just see there pools of water, little mini towns scattered around. From memory there's more. Go beyond the summit as well. But yeah, lovely tones of light yellow, browns, greys. Yeah. Okay, so final bit of scramble, and we'll see what we can find from there. So mid scramble, just stopped off. I'm getting a number of variants of this shot with pools of water. The higher they get, the more exposed they are, the better shapes are coming into view because they're getting a better elevation. So I've had a few lovely background clouds, still got the layering. You know, and the sound looks sort of crap. Ooh, bit of light now. Oh. It's a lovely shot. I'm not sure if it'll work as a photograph. It's just a lovely scene. It's just lacking in terms of composition, it is, if I'm honest, but it's beautiful, beautiful scene. Right, let's go. Right. There we go. Top of Glaramara. Got that view. Longdale Pikes there. I mentioned earlier on about the views looking towards the scaffolds. Yeah, it's not looking right good at this moment in time. The lighter areas towards the Longdale Pikes over there. Yeah. But wow, what a view. Such an interesting top. These crags. Bound to find some sort of shapes as well in these crags, crag formations. I'm not saying it's easy, but there is options. Regards to finding the right patterns in the rock formations. You really got to look. I mean, there's this here. You got the lines leading out across. It's finding that balance with what works with the right rock formations against what you've got in the background. It's quite difficult, but it's still fun at the same time. I'm not sure whether they'll work or not, but you can spend hours and hours trying to finesse your composition. I don't particularly want to do that because perfection doesn't exist. I'm just grabbing the camera and just shooting what appears to me looks to be a decent shot. But yeah, we're quite limited with the views, but it's giving that certain atmospheric appeal to the shots. Okay, so it's about another 2 kilometre hike to my next fell, which is Allen Crags, and I'm heading towards what appears the ominous clouds. We'll see what opens up though, you never know. But yeah, lovely hike, lovely fell this, really interesting, full of lots of, as I said before, crags, got pools of water, there's another one just appeared there. Right, so I'm not promising much because looking at it the views are quite obscured, but yeah, still enjoyable occasion, isn't it? Forever changing though. Obviously the cloud formations change, so you never know what might appear. So that's the views. It dips down and it climbs up to Allen Crags. Forgot about that actually. But I'm going to come across a few towns. House Town. A few little small pools of water as well around it. So I'll see what there is there. Quite interesting, but yeah, great end there in the middle. A fine example of layering. Look at that. Harrison Stickle. Sweep across. Coniston Fells there in the background. Bow Fell. There's some cloud over it. Oof. Nice stuff. Nice stuff. And there you've got the grandeur of a Great Gable. Right. Oh, I've said it many times, such an interesting film. But you've got to keep your wits about you, because it can be a bit precarious. I'm going to shoot, well, I've taken quite a few shots of that. That's not the town, by the way. It's just over the brow of that hill. But yeah, that is in itself worth a shot, isn't it? Long range telephoto. Have I got one? You know I haven't. But I can still get a fairly decent reach. So I talked about finding the right rock formation or rock formation pattern which works, and I've come across this. So I love a little natural curve. Of course it's going to be natural, isn't it? It's a natural curve and it's creating like an arc, sort of like framing Great Gables. I've taken a few different angles, different levels as well, because I want to take out the distractions, but yeah, it's good when I come across things like this. Yeah, I think that works. That probably does work. Let me just show you closer up. Look at that. Lovely little arc. But then you've got the mid-ground here, which I wanted to obscure as much as I can. But you've got plenty of background to play. Look at that. Great Gable. Lingmel. Is that Ewborough? Ewborough? Be Ewborough, won't it? I believe. Yeah. So, yeah. Quite lucky. Quite lucky. Right, not quite at Allen Crags yet, but we are getting there. That's one little tarn. The other one's over there. I think I remember now. They're quite enclosed, so you can't really get a background. Oh. Now, although this tarn isn't enclosed, nothing's really standing out in terms of getting a composition. If you get too close, it'll be too big in the frame. The better option is from afar. But it's just nice to look at and not to photograph. It's, you know, it's one of those things, isn't it? As I say, there's little towns as well scattered, but they're more enclosed. But yeah, this place is oozing with atmosphere. So the weather is closing in a little bit. You can just see the cloud drifting across. I'm near Allen Crags, so it's looking likely that I'm not going to see much once I get to the top. But yeah, it's held off, but it's certainly closing. You look at Glaramara. Look at that now. That's what you get. That's what it's all about. That's the fun of it, isn't it? That's the thrill. Right. Will it clear? Will it not? Stay tuned to see what happens at the top of Allen Crags. There we are, Allen Crags. The top cairn's just there. Yeah, views are obscured. I bet I could get a better view of Bow Fell, maybe. I don't know. Let's go over this brow. But obviously the wind's picked up. Oh, what a scene. Look at this. Oh my God. Look at it. Lovely light on the side of Great Gable. You've got sprinkling tarn there, accompanied with the mini tarns as well. Great stuff. Great stuff. Talking about great end there. It's top. It's just covered in clouds. Right, let's get to the top of this. Look at that, swirling clouds. Swirling clouds. Yeah, here we go. So lucky to be able to do this. The thing is, it's intermittent. It's coming and going because this incoming swirling cloud. And look at this coming up. Rising, rising. Right, okay, the plan now is to head down, meet the path, which will then, if I turn right, which will take me down towards Ruddy Gill, and head back. There you go, Escores there, it's like a crossroads. Take it up to Esk. Oh, I've got the name of the fell, Esk. Esk? Well, anyway, both fell. Great end, and that there will take you beyond and the Scarfells. That's the view I was hoping to see. Not quite seeing it, but I'll tell you what, that's the view, isn't it? S Pike, yeah, S Pike. That's S Pike. Bowfell. So a busy little place this. See the shelter there. As I say, it's quite a busy crossroads for a lot of the big main fells. People coming down from Gritton there. A few walkers coming up as well. Quite a blustery day it's turned out to be. Remember that time, tranquil, peaceful? How things can change. How things can change. That's the throw, as I said before. Right, here we go. To this path, I believe. Yeah, to this path. And back down.